What's going on, fellow Giant Slayers? It's been a while. It's been a while since I made more of a blog type video. You guys have kind of seen some motivational ones and some commentary, but it's not very often that I really talk about my life or what's kind of going on. But something that's really important to me to talk to you guys and to try to give you information about is, sometimes we create these goals, whether it's fitness related, whether it's hobby related, whatever hobby that you have, whether it's painting or basketball or whatever it is. I think that sometimes we create these long-term goals that really never seem like they'll ever be attainable. But I think that if you put in the work and you put in the time, you can reach those goals. And that's what this video is kind of about. I'm actually heading to the gym in Marietta right now, Marietta Barbell, where I've been training a lot lately on the weekends. It's a good 30-minute drive, so I knew I would have some time, and I wanted to kind of talk to you guys. And, actually, for those of you that know me pretty well and know my story pretty well, I started training about 7 years ago. Initially from my best friend Evan. He kind of got me involved with it. And when I first started training, I thought training was going to get me a lot of women. Women liked muscles, and that would kind of help me out there. It was really, I wasn't very serious about it at all. I mean, we'd go every day. We do abs every day. We bench every day. It wasn't like, I wouldn't consider myself a bodybuilder. I could almost kind of consider myself a very casual gym goer. And after a couple of years is when I first started to really take it seriously. And there was kind of a moment in my life. I remember one summer, my dad was obviously living in Atlanta, and I came down for a summer. I think it was after I graduated high school. And a lot of people know this story too, is I started losing my hair at a very young age. I believe I was 15 or 16 at the time. But I remember this time, this summer in particular, summer of 2008, and a lot was going on in my life. I was losing my hair at a very rapid rate, and I also dated a girl in high school, all throughout high school, and we officially called it off. And at this point, I remember this conversation one night, and pretty much she found somebody else. And it was a long story, backstory in that, but she found somebody else. I remember hanging up the phone with her and going and looking in the mirror at the time and being very upset with myself. Upset with myself how I looked physically, my hair falling out, and I remember just starting to cry and feeling like I was never going to be good enough for anybody, and no women would like me because I was losing my hair and all this stuff going on. And at that point, I knew where I wanted to focus my energy, focus that inner battle that I was having with myself, and I wanted to focus it on bodybuilding. My dad was working out a lot at the time, and I remember going to a Barnes & Noble that was right up the road, and I bought, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding, which, all the main guys, any guy that's very passionate about bodybuilding has probably read this book at some point or other. And I remember reading this book from front to back that summer. That's all. It was like 600 pages. Talked about all the basic exercises. Talked about the history of bodybuilding, and a lot of pictures of all the classic guys, Frank Zane, Franco Columbu, and all those guys. And I remember that's where I kind of got the bug. That fitness, that bodybuilding lifestyle bug, and I started reading bodybuilding magazines at this time too. One of the first ones I picked up was a Muscular Development, and obviously I communicated a lot with my best friend Evan back home, and I remember him saying that a gentleman that was sponsored by Muscle Tech, one of the bigger bodybuilders back home, was in a magazine. And I remember flipping through Muscular Development and seeing the ad for Muscle Tech. He was sponsored by Muscle Tech, and seeing the ad and seeing that little picture and just being so envious of this guy. I was like, man, God, what I would do to be in a magazine, to be recognized, to be flipping through the pages and see a picture of me, and know that other people have seen this picture too. And with all that being said, I remember, telling my best friend Evan that, I said, man, I don't even know how I would react if I was ever in a bodybuilding magazine. And this guy just had a little picture, a sixth of a page maybe. No information really about him. It was a transformation thing, a before and after picture, and that was about it. But I remember being like, man, that's one of my long-term goals is I want to be in a magazine. At some point or other, I want to be in a bodybuilding magazine. And, you train hour after hour, week after week, and, sometimes it's one of those things where you don't think that's ever going to happen. I mean, you look at your body every single day and you don't necessarily see the changes because you see yourself every day. And but obviously I've progressed. My physique has progressed since 2008, when I would say I first got the bug, the bodybuilding bug, and it was kind of funny because I've accomplished a lot in college with my business that I had, the personal training business, and having a little bit of notoriety online through forums like Reddit, YouTube, and that kind of stuff. And I was actually at a friend's house, a family friend's house recently, and I was teaching her how to use her computer and that kind of stuff. And actually, let me reverse back real quick. So, after college, after being very involved in school, learning about business, looking at everything as an entrepreneurial mindset, I would start to put myself out there a little bit more, right? Because I was getting involved with YouTube and Reddit and all that kind of stuff. And I did a transformation contest, a 6-week transformation contest where I took second, and I won $500. And I would see all these opportunities online, and one of those opportunities was to submit some information to Muscle Mag, which is a very popular bodybuilding magazine, and to potentially have a little article in there, kind of like an amateur status article, and so I was very, I threw my name out there, and I remember them getting back to me in July and saying, hey, we're looking to put you in the magazine, can you give us some more information? And so I provided a paragraph about me and what I've been doing and how long I've been training and my style of training and all that kind of stuff. And fast forward, work was going on, time flies by, it's crazy. And last week when I was back home for Thanksgiving, I was teaching a family friend how to use her tablet and use her tablet computer. And I was like, yeah, you can Google anything. Have you ever Googled yourself? Oh, sorry. See, that's what happens when you're trying to drive and film a video. It's like, have you ever Googled yourself? She's like, no, I've never Googled myself. So we Googled her, nothing came up. And she's like, what about you? I was like, I've never, it's been a while since I've done it. So I Googled myself, and I found that a Muscle Mag article about me, because Muscle Mag actually never got back to me and said, hey, Austin, we're going to put you in this issue. So I just thought that I was the picked, And so when I Googled it, it came up, the online version of the magazine with, and stuff. And I kind of was in awe, and I started kind of getting emotional, because a lot of people that know me know that I'm a very passionate person. I'm not really scared to show my emotions, and I was kind of, I kind of broke down a little bit, because, that was one of my dreams, was to be in a magazine, and I never thought I would actually accomplish it. Not necessarily the way I would have hoped to find out about it, but it was still one of those things. It was a great feeling knowing that I had been picked for that, and somebody else has recognized my physique as being good enough to be put into a magazine. And and it, like I said, looking back at it, it's never, you make these long-term goals, you might say things, tongue-in-cheek, and they might not think that things are going to happen in life and that you can never reach those goals. But the moral of this story is to teach you that if you just keep shaping your craft and keep trying to get better and trying to progress and trying to learn more, you never know what can happen. There's a quote that says, people who think they can't won't, but people who think they can might. And there's a lot of truth in that. And I'm even starting to kind of feel it in my face just talking about it. The joy that I have knowing that I made it into the magazine. It wasn't the 5-page spread that I would have imagined at that time, but it was still, I was still being notarized. It was on 2 pages, which, and that's huge for me, and that's a big accomplishment for me. And I want you guys to know that whatever you're passionate about, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's, volleyball, whatever it is, keep working, stay positive about it. Be confident about what your capabilities, and you never know that could really, something like that could really happen to you, and it's a great feeling. And I hope you guys can eventually share stories with me of things that you've accomplished, that you've been very happy about, that you never thought you'd be able to accomplish. With all that being said, as always, I'm going to be trying to keep up with this as much as possible. Been busy with the holidays, but like, comment. Let me hear some feedback about different experiences you've had, because I think that'd be great. And subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be trying to put some more stuff up there. But for now, keep slaying.